For the class of 2027, this upcoming summer will be a defining one, and their recruiting process opens, and they will set the course for the next step in their baseball careers. I'm Cory McCartney. That's Grayson Rosen as we turn in for another Game Rewind, and we do so with a focus on those 2027s, with a look back at the 15U National Championship and a matchup between Luccini National and Building Champions. And this, Grayson, a glimpse at some names that we're probably going to want to know ahead of this summer's recruiting cycle.
Yeah, you've got Kansas's #1 player in Grant Westfall kind of taking the front line here for Building Champions, and then a Luccini squad full of amazing talent from across Louisiana and a couple other states as well. So a lot of talent on display, and like you said, a valuable season that we're heading into for these 2027s.
So let's take a look at the lineups. Again, we'll see Luccini National and Building Champions from the 15U National Championship. Luccini National leading off with center fielder Parker Reach, then it's shortstop Gatlin Grace, followed by catcher Miles Collins, then third baseman Cullen Weller, then it's right fielder Lawton Littleton, first baseman Sean Goodrum hitting 6th, Whit Davis, left fielder, hitting 7th, hitting 8th is second baseman Jaden Helmers. On the mound and hitting 9th will be TJ Bailey. Building Champions leading off with the aforementioned Grant Westfall at left field, and then Andrew Maltzby, the DH, hitting 2nd. Third baseman Cameron Miller will hit 3rd. Hitting 4th is center fielder Carter Taldo. Then it's shortstop Drew Pittman, catcher JT Moorhead, Parker Jenkins hitting 7th and playing first base. Hitting 8th is right fielder Jamison Rice, Cooper Kenny, the second baseman, hitting 9th. Evan Loftus, the extra hitter, will hit 10th, and Warren Robertson will be on the mound. So let's hit the field for this Game Rewind. Warren Robertson, as we mentioned, going to be on the mound. We'll see him first here for Building Champions. Robertson, 6'3", 190-pounder out of Rockhurst High School in Missouri. 4th-ranked outfielder in Missouri, 20th overall, but you're going to see him on the mound here where he is up to 86 mile an hour as a changeup. This sits 74 to 77, curveball at 72, and a slider as well, a 23 junior feature gamer, and he will be facing Parker Reach, Gatlin Grace, and Miles Collins to start things off here for Luccini National.
Yeah, first one a foul ball right there by Parker Reach out of the Stillman Institute in Louisiana.
Yeah, this Luccini National team, a lot of players from Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Reach puts that one into play. That's going to be underneath the camped out shortstop, and he'll haul that in for the first out.
Yeah, good to get early outs from the defense, give them some early confidence. A pop-up certainly helps you out as a pitcher and helps out the infield to get off to a good start.
Building Champions spends a lot of time here at Lake Point Sports during the summer out of Kansas City and Missouri area. They just usually an absolutely loaded team, and then when you start looking at those Kansas and Missouri future games teams, these are guys that actually end up dotting a lot of those spots in the lineup when we end up seeing those future game squads at the end of July and early August.
Yeah, definitely a team that is a regular fixture here in June and July.
Gatlin Grace at the plate now for Luccini National. Grace from Parkhurst Baptist in Louisiana, 6th-ranked shortstop in that state, 26th overall in the class of 2027, 6'9", 860. Exit velo is around 86.2. And talked about junior feature games. He was here for the junior feature games in 2023. Robertson with a miss there on that fastball. That one's 84 miles an hour.
Yeah, and we're already seeing early in his day here, Warren Robertson not afraid to move pretty quickly up there on the mound, and it's allowing him to pretty well be ahead of these hitters so far.
Fouls that one off at 84. Robertson with another miss outside.
Yeah, that one barely a miss, maybe more on where he was aiming for rather than where he got.
Puts that one in play. Second baseman Hathers gathers, throws in time for the second out. Where do you stand on the arm sleeve on a pitcher on the throwing arm?
I'm not a fan. I get it because the actual reason that there are arm sleeves is to relieve your elbow of stress. But I don't think anybody's actually wearing them with that intention. I think
it's a fashion accessory at this point. Yeah,
it's an accessory, and I'm not a fan of it. Obviously, the white isn't allowed, so I can respect the fact that he's not sporting a white one because they would have told him to take it off. But Yeah, I don't think it really affects much. So if it does help him, that's great. But I think a lot of people are just wearing it for fashion.
Miles Collins lines out to third base. We'll talk more baseball fashion as we move along here. You're watching our Game Rewind from the 15U National Championship from Lake Point Sports.
Grilling is an art. Don't forget to add sausage, Picasso. Keep it juicy.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, I'm the man in command, come, flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Get our first look at building champions at the plate. Grant Westfall, Andrew Maltsby, and Cameron Miller due up, and they will be facing TJ Bailey, Laventry Bailey, the real name, but goes by TJ Bailey and comes to you on the mound with some things you're not going to see too often, and that is a switch hitter, a switch pitcher, a guy that can get it done with both sides, and the first offering from Grant Westfall is going into center field for a base hit. But Bailey bringing some uniqueness, to say the least, Grayson.
Yeah, you see he's wearing the actually, it looks like he might just be wearing a lefty glove. I can't quite tell. We don't have a close-up view, but I've seen him pitch quite a few times just on pre-recorded video of him using the ambidextrous glove, which is definitely it seems like a tough piece of equipment to use. We were talking in the break about how hard it would be to field a ball with two different webs in your glove. Yeah,
we've seen obviously some switch pitchers that's become a little bit more in vogue. It's obviously remains a rarity, but then to have a guy who's also a switch hitter and a middle infielder who can do both as well. I mean, this guy comes at you with a lot of things you don't see too often.
Yeah, seems like the terminology right now, when you're looking at it on like a roster, is BHP for both-handed pitcher.
Well, he's now facing Andrew Maltsby. Miss outside to Maltsby. Comes in as the second-ranked catcher in Missouri, 7th overall, 25th at that position nationally, 204 overall. Exit velos are on 92.4 for the Staley High School product. Bailey will walk him. Grant Westfall makes his way down to second. See if we get a courtesy runner for Maltsby. Oh, excuse me, he's actually a DH today. They'll have JT Moorhead behind the plate, so they're going to make Andrew Maltsby run today.
Looks like we got time called by our catcher to go have a conversation with TJ Bailey up on the mound.
Now I got Cameron Miller at the plate coming up next from Nixa High School in Missouri, 6'3", 161-pounder, second-ranked third baseman in Missouri, 8th overall. Comes in 17th nationally at that position, so a guy that can do some damage, 92.2 exit velos. See what Bailey has in store for him.
Yeah, Cameron Miller, a good young player on a Nixa team that is always producing out of Missouri.
Got Bailey with fastballs. He's around mid-70s, but out of Bayside Academy, 14th ranked shortstop in Alabama. I think you're always going to get a little bit longer look when you can pitch from both sides of the mound. Guys are going to want to see how that plays itself out. I'm always interested, too, when a guy can do, and I've had this conversation, we've talked about this before with major league hitters who are switch hitters, and do you eventually have to pick? But when you're a guy that can throw both sides, I mean, that's just, if it can look similar from both sides, I mean, I don't think that's a weapon you want to take away from anybody.
Yeah, I think, and it's also, it's such an advantage that you have when it comes to lineup matchups.
Yeah.
Like when you think about those like Cleveland Indians lineups in the like mid 2010s with Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor both switch hitting, both at the top of the lineup. Like that's a tremendous asset that you have in matchups against starting pitching. I think when it comes to a switch pitcher, it's almost like there's got to be an arm that you're better with. It feels like that's the case, and maybe that's probably why we haven't seen as many people give it a try at the major league level.
Miss inside to Bailey, from Bailey to Miller. Just really struggling to locate.
Yeah, and with this building champions lineup, you really don't want to give them anything for free. They've got an extremely talented lineup, and they'll make you pay even if you aren't giving them handouts. So right now, definitely not the start you're looking for with a single walk, and now you're not in a good spot here with Cameron Miller.
Yeah, first pitch single to Grant Westfall, and then he walks Maltzby on 4 pitches, and now get himself a 3-0 count to Miller.
Just a little bit low.
Just misses, so Bailey will indeed walk Miller on 4 pitches, and that's going to load the bases for Carter Taldo, the second center fielder. I've already seen a couple conversations with the catcher and Bailey.
Coach is going to come out, have a conversation.
Looks like he's going to take the ball from him. So, yeah, TJ Bailey's day going to come to an end before he's recorded and out. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and tell you about the new pitcher for Luccini National.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Carter Taldo will step to the plate with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning, and he will do so now facing a new pitcher for Luccini National, Grant Vollmer. 6'7", you heard that right, 6'7", 200-pound righty out of University Lab in Louisiana. Maybe built in a lab, 6'7", 200 pounds.
Yeah, a 14-year-old, 15-year-old.
6th ranked righty in Louisiana, 65th overall, fastball up to 84, along with a changeup, 72, 75, curveball at 71, a slider that gets all the way down to 67.
Yeah, I got to know if he's playing basketball. Because sometimes we talk about these guys that are a little bit taller for their age, and they just look like they have a projectable kind of frame. 6'7" seems like he should be playing center soon.
Yeah. Skies that one back.
I think at his size at a young age, it seems like he moves just fine on the mound. It's sometimes an issue you see, just guys don't move the same when they get that tall so quickly and at such a young age, and it seems like he kind of holds himself together there.
Taldo skies this one. Center fielder, right fielder on the run. That's going to drop in front of him. Here comes one run for building champions, so Carter Taldo comes through with an RBI single, and they've got a 1-0 lead, and meanwhile, Luccini National still searching for their first out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, definitely not the worst case scenario there. It got skied so high that they really couldn't advance as much. If that one comes down quicker, maybe you see 2 runs score, but you wish you could have gotten the out.
Now we'll see Drew Pittman, the shortstop from Blue Valley Southwest in Kansas, 3rd-ranked shortstop in Kansas. Watches the first pitch from Vollmer miss inside. He's 12th overall in the state, 90.7 exit velos, bat speed north of 70 miles an hour, and he's got himself a 1-0 count. Puts the second one in play. Vollmer has it, throws back to home for 1 out. The throw to first in time for another, so they'll get 2. Nice job by Vollmer to get the lead runner and turn that double play. Now 2 down here for Luccini. They've got a 1-0 deficit against building champions.
Yeah, definitely a tough play for most pitchers to make. A lot of times they're the ones that they field that ball and they maybe don't know the first place they need to go to because they've got, the at-bat kind of in the front of their mind. But good work, no hesitation, fires at home, and then a good throw by the catcher to get the out at first base, and got yourself in a much more reasonable spot here in the first inning.
So 2 down for J.T. Moorhead, catcher, St. Michael the Archangel High School.
Long name.
It sure is. Moorhead behind the plate. He's the 8th-ranked catcher in Missouri, 57th overall. See if he can build on this 1-0 lead.
Close one right there. Seemed like they got the ball on the checked swing. Moorhead showing exit velos into 95.3, so definitely a guy you'd like to see at the plate with this scenario.
Disguise that foul. And Vollmer, obviously, you're going to have an extended leg kick with a guy that's 6'7". He's got the high setup, so a lot of moving parts. A lot of moving parts of the mechanics here, but so far so good as he's a little more settled in. One nothing is the lead for Building Champions here. Vollmer did walk into a mess, bases loaded, nobody out. That one's skied, yeah. First baseman has it right along the line, and that'll bring it into an inning. Nice job by Grant Vollmer stepping into a tough situation, limiting Building Champions to just 1 run. We'll be back. We are through with the first inning of this Game Rewind.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Cullen Weller, Lawton Littleton, and Sean Goodrum will be at the plate for Luccini National here in the second inning. They trail 1-0 to Building Champions in this quarterfinal matchup from the 15U National Champions. Warren Robertson back on the mound. Cullen Weller, a very interesting case at the plate here for Luccini National. A Tulane committed in December of 2022, the December of his 8th grade year for the 4th-ranked catcher in Louisiana, 16th overall.
Yeah, definitely something that, obviously can't happen really as much anymore, but something that was happening before these rule changes for recruiting. And you definitely saw it a lot prior. A lot of guys committing in, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, which is unbelievable. But now baseball, especially at the Division I level, one of the most strict rules now for recruiting.
I had a lot of conversations with Cannon Golden about this. Ended up doing his recruitment video, his commitment video when he made his announcement that he was going to Ole Miss. He's a guy that's been at the last 2 prep baseball All-American games. Committed in his 8th grade year at South Carolina, and when he went through the recruitment process again, he said it was just a very different situation. You had a very different understanding of what you wanted in a school, what you wanted in a coaching staff, and what you wanted in an opportunity, as opposed to, to be perfectly honest with your middle schooler, and you're just really excited to put commit on the side of your profile. That one's drop is in front of the right fielder for a leadoff single for Weller.
Yeah, that one dropped right into a spot where he just kind of couldn't make a play on it there, but good work to just field it and get it in, allow just a single.
So we'll see if Cullen Weller does end up at Tulane, but he gets to be a Tulane commit for the next couple of years before he can have any contact with any other schools. And he now at first base will turn things over to Lawton Littleton. Littleton from Barbie High School in Louisiana.
Another school that has got a lot of high-ranked players in Louisiana in that lineup.
Yeah, he's the 2nd-ranked outfielder in Louisiana, 3rd overall, 46th at the position nationally. One thing you got to like about Weller, though, and I mentioned the Tulane commitment, is this a Louisiana kid committing to Tulane.
Yeah.
So there's certainly that connection there, that local connection for a guy that's the 2021 and 2022 junior feature gamer. That one gets into the right field, just bounces past the outstretched glove of the second baseman. So back-to-back base hits for Luccini National, and they are in business here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, great way to get things started. You get the fly ball that drops out in the outfield, and then a good piece of hitting from the lefty, Lawton Littleton, to sneak that one through the infield, just barely past the outstretched arm there of Cooper Kenny at second base. But you get 2 straight base hits to get things rolling.
Now we'll see Sean Goodrum, the first baseman. He's got an opportunity to get Luccini National on the board after they were able to limit Building Champions to just 1 run after having the bases loaded in the first.
Yeah, Goodrum, the first baseman out of John Curtis Christian in Louisiana. Get a little slow-mo here to there you go, back to normal speed.
Oh, swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Maybe the best individual pitch that we've seen out of the hands of Warren Robertson thus far.
Yeah, that was a beauty.
Good one from John Curtis Christian. In on the hands, and he fouls that off.
You can tell Goodrum really crowding the plate here, so Warren Robertson might be able to really take advantage of the breaking balls here. See that back foot up on the white lines next to home plate. He's really using his real estate.
Swing and a miss. Goes down on strike, so 1 down here with runners at first and second. Able to get Goodrum, and now we're going to see him face off against Whit Davis.
Yeah, Warren Robertson handled that at bat perfectly. Like I had mentioned, he was crowding the plate a little bit and wouldn't back off, so used the breaking ball to kind of force him into an awkward position where he thinks he's really just going to get a handful there on the pitch, and that falls out over the plate.
And gets away from him, sailed on top of the catcher, and both runners will advance.
Tough to lose that potential double play ball there.
Davis at the plate from Jackson Academy in Mississippi. He's a third-ranked first baseman in Mississippi, 41st overall, a 23 junior feature gamer. So after the miss on the 84-mile-an-hour fastball, now has 2 runners in scoring position. Another miss low, that one at 85. Comes a 2-0. Another miss.
Yeah, maybe the least control so far that we've seen from Warren Robertson now through.
1 pitch away from loading the bases as Jaden Helmers, second baseman, waits in the on-deck circle. Just misses, and he will walk the bases loaded.
Yeah, 4 straight balls for Warren Robertson. Doesn't seem like something we would even see after that first inning and how these first couple of bats have gone, but we're going to come in and check on him, make sure everything's
saw a quick trigger in a similar situation on the other side of the field there for Luccini National, taking T.J. Bailey out in the first inning with the bases loaded before he had recorded an out. Now we're going to have Jaden Helmers, the second baseman, stepping up with the bases loaded in a 1-0 lead for Building Champions. Robertson looking pretty sharp until that last AB. He's going to stay in the game, so now we will see him against Helmers, 5'7", 150-pounder from North Shore High School in Louisiana, the 13th-ranked shortstop in that state, 41st overall.
Yeah, and that last at bat, maybe you chalk it up on the lefty batter, the 2 lefty batters he's faced, Lawton Littleton, who snuck that single through and is on base right now, and then now Davis, who he gives the free pass to on 4 straight balls.
So we got the strikeout of Goodrum, so there is 1 down. Helmer sends the first one foul at 86 miles an hour.
If you're Warren Robertson, I think you keep going to that breaking ball that you used against Goodrum. Either you get swing and miss or you try and force a ground ball for the double play.
Comes the 1-0, puts that in play. Has it himself. Robertson throws to home for 1 out, throw to first for another, so they are able to turn. Double play looked awfully similar to what we saw Grant Vollmer do for Luccini National. We'll be back Lead is still 1-0 for Building Champions.
Where's it written? Only grill burgers? Nowhere. That's where. Now throw on some sausage. And keep it juicy.
Boogie, woogie, jam, slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty mic.
Parker Jenkins, Jamison Rice, and Cooper Kinney will be at the plate for Building Champions, who leads 1-0 over Luccini National here in the quarterfinals of the 15U National Championship. Grant Vollmer is back on the mound for Luccini National and continues to look awfully impressive in his warm-up pitches for a guy that, again, comes in at 6'7". That miss at 80. Jenkins at the plate from Liberty North in Missouri, 6 foot, 185 pounder. Exit velo is near 90, bat speed up around 70 miles an hour. And we mentioned it in the intro, these being so many of them 2027s. I mean, we have one player in this game who is that rare commitment in this class. But man, a lot of these names are ones that this summer we are going to hear shortly after the feature games and the floodgates can open from the coaches being able to get in contact with these players. I think a lot of these names are going to be ones that we're going to see on those commitment lists.
Yeah, August 1st is the day to circle on the calendar, and it's a Friday this year, I believe. So going to be a busy weekend for college recruiters.
Will be interesting, too, because we know a lot of these kids end up playing football, and how you're able to do that is he gets him down on strikes, change up at 70 miles an hour, so able to work his way through a full count and get the K of Jenkins to start things off.
Yeah, good job there, just showing some fight back right there, going down 3-0 and then bringing it back, using that change up, one of the better ones we've seen from him.
Brings up Olathe South's Jamison Rice. Bit of a miss there from Vollmer to start things off against Rice. Breaking ball at 72.
Just misses the top of the zone there on that one.
Would not be surprised if come August, shortly after August 1st, we see the names Vollmer and Robertson scooped up by a couple Division I programs, because these look like arms that could most certainly play at the next level.
Yeah, definitely guys that you can assume there's some pitching coaches around the nation watching these guys play and dreaming of what they can do with them.
You just jinxed him, by the way.
That's
why he missed so
that's how it
badly on
goes.
that.
Every time we talk good on a pitcher, it just kind of, they have to prove us wrong a little bit.
Who goes with a nasty breaking ball? Man, I think Rice thought that was nearly going to hit him as he shied away from it and watches strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Vollmer here in the second.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pitch by Vollmer. Glad I didn't say anything good about him before that one. Wouldn't have wanted to missed out on that.
Building Champions will now turn it over to Cooper Kinney from Staley High School. Playing second base today as he watches that in for a strike. That one last offering at 82. Miss outside again at 82.
You can definitely tell that Vollmer's a lot more comfortable on the mound. It was a tough position he came into in the first, but this second inning he looks way better on the mound here.
Got himself a 1-2 count. That one's on the ground. Shortstop has it, gathers throws in time. A quick inning for Grant Vollmer and Luccini National. They still trail 1-0. We'll be back for inning number 3 of this Game Rewind.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, I'm the
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Bottom of the order for Luccini Nationals, we'll see TJ Bailey, and we're back to the top with Parker Reach and Gatlin Grace. Warren Robertson back on the mound for Building Champions. Mentioned Bailey, the switch pitcher, switch hitter. He's hitting from the left side here against Robertson. It's in for a strike. Yeah, the scouting reports on Bailey say the swing is a mirror image from both sides, which is always a point of interest, I think, when you talk to any switch hitter. What's your dominant side? Are you a different hitter from one side or the other? I feel like more these days, as that one goes foul, a lot fewer guys will say that they're better from one side or the other, because I think guys who are switch hitters seem to gravitate towards it at such a younger age than maybe they did in generations past. When you talk to guys like, Chipper Jones, that will say that they picked it up a little bit later in life. That one goes foul as well.
Yeah, and I think another big part of it for the younger guys, too, is that a lot of them are naturally lefties. A lot of times it's that you're naturally a lefty, and then you just kind of either you have a coach who's right-handed hitter that you work with a lot, and I think it just is more natural to learn it that way. But typically it's a natural lefty being coached by a righty, and they just kind of pick up on it. And if it feels natural, you might as well use that as a big tool in your game.
Bailey,
it seemed like he thought he got hit.
I think Bailey thought he got hit. Miss high. I will say, being a lefty myself, though, the weirdest thing to me, and when you attempt to try to switch hit, is the top hand.
Yes.
If you could potentially hit from the right side with your left hand still on top, maybe it would feel a little bit less awkward. As draws himself a walk in an 8-pitch AB.
Yeah, I'm not that I was that great of a right-handed hitter, but I look like I don't know how to move when I'm in the lefty batter's box.
I will tell you, though, as a left-hander, and I've talked to Avery Hunt, who is often on these broadcasts as well as left-handed. If you're left-handed, you learn how to do things right-handed, because that's the way the world is built. And there's a lot of things that you just have to learn how to do. So I think most left-handers are probably a little more ambidextrous than right-handers are able to do more things from the left side. And that's the end of my TED Talk. So we'll now move on to baseball.
Yeah, we'll stop talking about left hands versus right hands and start talking about what we got going on here.
Yeah, Parker Reach at the plate now, again, for Luccini National, leadoff hitter. Bailey taking off for second base on the pass ball, and man, showing off some speed as he works his way down to the second base bag.
Yeah, Bailey definitely got a lot of desirable attributes, and we've definitely seen him on display so far.
Yeah, I think the only question you have with a guy at a young age is kind of showing those proclivities to do things from both sides. Does he get led in a direction where he needs to pick if the skills aren't as dominant as they are maybe on one side of the plate or one side of the mound? So we'll see as things progress with Bailey, but certainly a 2027 to watch out of Bayside Academy, and he's now standing at second base.
Yeah, I think the biggest conversation topic doing it at such a young age is how do you grow from both sides equally?
Reach washes that in for a strike.
Good work there by Warren Robertson to start dialing in the control again.
Count is now 3-1 to Reach. Throw back to second. Bailey able to slip in there.
It seemed like Robertson almost didn't want to throw, but Bailey wasn't going until he did it, so it was worth the shot there for Robertson.
A game of
close
base running chicken. Oh man, did that get a piece of him on the swing?
I'm not sure if it was fouled off onto him. I think he fouled it off onto himself. It didn't look like it was that far inside until he gave it a cut.
Well, it hurt nonetheless, and so Reach is going to have to step back into the box.
Yeah, it seems like he fouled it off on the inside of his left knee. One of the worst feelings. I say it every time I see it, but fouling a ball off onto yourself is always the worst, because you did it to yourself. It almost makes it worse than a hit by pitch.
Next pitch will be the 14th of this third inning for Robertson. 44th so far in the game. Oh, man, gets him to bite. Nice job rebounding there from Robertson. Is able to mow down Reach, and there's now one down, and we'll see Gatlin Grace.
Kind of the first time we've seen Robertson use a quick pitch, and certainly worked right there. That was a beautiful pitch.
So 23, junior feature gamer Gatlin Grace from Parkview Baptist steps into the box here with one down. His team still trailing 1-0 in the third. Oh, goes back to the exact same pitch, and Gatlin Grace loses his grip on that bat.
Yeah, I think Warren Robertson's feeling pretty good about this pitch. He gets a swing and miss with a strikeout, and that time a swing and toss from the batter.
See if he goes back to it. Same location on back-to-back pitches. Bailey starting to build himself a healthy lead at second. Spikes that one, and Bailey will return to second, so now it's going to be a 1-1 count.
Yeah, you can't throw the breaking ball every time. 2 times in a row, you got exactly what you wanted out of it. You maybe exhausted your luck a little bit, and you go back to old reliable here.
All right, 1-1 to Grace. Robertson steps off, gets Bailey to go back to the bag.
Yeah, Bailey definitely trying to occupy the mind of the starter.
Delivers, puts that on the ground. Second baseman has it. Throws on the run in time
Great
to
play.
Get the second out. Nice job at second there from
Cooper Kinney.
Yeah, from Cooper Kinney, showing off the glove work on a ball he had to run towards home on.
Yeah, really smooth hands on that one too.
So there'll be 2 down now as they'll turn things over to Miles Collins. Collins at 6'3", 205 is behind the plate for Luccini National today. Top-ranked catcher in that state, 4th overall, 29th at the position nationally. Guy with exit velos north of 91.
And behind the plate, a 1.89 pop time.
And a catcher velo at 79.
Yeah, not too bad for a young guy, especially at his size. Hard to move around that quickly at catcher.
Well, I think we've decided we're sending Grant Vollmer and Miles Collins out if this thing becomes a duel to the death.
Yeah, they're definitely my picks right now, unless they've got a 7-footer that's 300 pounds in the dugout.
Collins ropes that into right field, and that's going to be Oh, man, did he catch it? Did he drop it?
They're saying that he did not catch it.
Wow, man, what an effort in right field, but now we've got a tie ball game as he's able to drop that in for a base hit. Man, we nearly had a fantastic catch in right field out of Jamison Rice, but unable to make the grab, and so now we're going to be all notched up at 1-1.
That's one of those plays you don't really think about the difficulty for the umpires to get a call on that. You know, we see it missed at the major league level, but they have replay assists to help them out.
Yeah.
But good work by the umpires to see that he ended up fielding it off the ground.
So all tied up now for Cullen Weller.
Yeah, good work here by Luccini, just capitalizing on a walk early and then getting that timely base hit right there.
Sent for a strike. See if Weller can keep the chain moving for Luccini National. It's going to miss high. Weller got a base hit in his first AB, the Tulane commit. 5'9", 160-pounder. Swing and a miss, man. 83-mile-an-hour fastball just blew past the bat of Weller. Count is now 1-2. Well, missed low on the 84-mile-an-hour fastball. Count is all evened up now at 2-2. Where Robertson goes to the breaking ball, and a swing and a miss by Weller. He goes down on strikes, but we are all tied up at 1-1 when we come back from this game rewind. Building champions will turn to Evan Loftus, and then the top of the order, Grant Westfall and Andrew Maltzby, as we are all tied up at 1-1 here in inning number 3 of this quarterfinal matchup from the 15U National Championship. Swing and a miss there. Fastball 80 miles an hour off the hands of Grant Vollmer.
Close one there on the breaking ball to follow it up. I like using that high elevated fastball there to get that swing and a miss to start off the inning.
Now you change eye levels and then go to a low breaking ball as he's able to drop that in for a strike. 71. Certainly a lot to like with Vollmer. Just kind of misses on the release there. Maybe he was sitting a little bit too far back.
Yeah.
Count is now 2-2. Oh, just misses on the outside. I think Vollmer thought he had that one.
Yeah, it was a real close one there to Loftus.
The count is now full. Loftus from Liberty North will draw a leadoff walk. So the state of Missouri's 8th-ranked right-handed pitcher, 31st overall, showing some acumen there at the plate as he is able to work himself a leadoff walk. And now we will turn things over to Grant Westfall on the top of the order here for Building Champions. And Westfall, #1 player in Kansas in 2027, 4th overall. Among outfielders, 8th nationally. Guy that most certainly can get things done at the plate. 6'2", 190-pounder. Westfall here in 2022 for the junior feature games. I will almost guarantee he will be back in the summer of 2025 representing Kansas in the actual feature games. I will be stunned if Grant Westfall is not back.
Yeah, definitely a guy that you'd like to see. And then his older brother, Grady, certainly a good idea of what is to come for Grant, because Grady, the #1 player in Kansas for this class of 2025.
Misses high. He's got himself a 1-1 count here.
Yeah, I think that base runner is definitely in Vollmer's head right now.
It's taken off, but he will have to go back as Westfall fouls that off. You can see one of the cooler views at Lake Point Sports when we get the flag whipping there, when we've got those winds going. And man, that flag is massive. And that's one of the things that people always want to talk about is that flag. And it's had to have been replaced a few times.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, something of that size always flying in the wind, constantly moving around, it kind of makes sense that it'll get some wear and tear for sure.
Yeah, company up in Michigan that we get those flags from, as Westfall puts that on the ground. Second baseman has it. We'll get Westfall at first, but they will advance a runner to second. Yeah, it's a bit of a fiasco getting those flags because they can't run to Home Depot or Lowe's and pick up a flag of that magnitude.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see what Vollmer's got here for Maltzby as he comes to the plate with just one down and a runner in scoring position.
Maltzby from Staley High School puts that in play.
Line drive.
Yeah, line drive, and they'll double him up at second
Good
base.
work.
Man, nice job. A quick inning once again for Grant Vollmer and Luccini National. And we'll continue to be tied up at 1-1 when we come back from Lake Point Sports.
Grilling is an art. Don't forget to add sausage, Picasso. Keep it juicy.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Still all tied up at 1-1, and Luccini National will send Lawton Littleton, Sean Goodrum, and Whit Davis to the plate here against Warren Robertson. First ball in play, sends that one into the glove of the left fielder, and a very quickly one down.
Yeah, definitely what you'd like to see if you're Warren Robertson after a couple of kind of long innings here in the second and third.
That went into the glove of Grant Westfall, and now Sean Goodrum's turn at the plate.
Last time up, Goodrum, you noted he kind of crowded the plate a little bit. Maybe not as close over the plate, but went down on strikes the last time out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he starts to work in that breaking ball that's, you know, kind of gone into the left-handed batter's box, causing a lot of issues for these right-handed hitters.
There's one. That's a great use of it right there. Like we mentioned, crowd the plate and you throw something that makes it look like it's going to hit you and then falls right over the middle of the plate.
Goes change up and misses. Count's now going to be 1-2. Ooh, man, that looked like it could have been in for a very long ride. The fastball that he sends foul.
If I had to guess, that one was heading for the batting cages down that way. Yeah, that was well struck for sure.
Yeah, Goodrum was obviously thinking fastball, yep.
Yeah.
Count's now going to be 1-2. Whew, just misses on the breaking ball inside.
Close one. Very close one. The catcher was convinced he got it too. Really close right there.
Well, you see Goodrum with that back foot just right into the very corner. I mean, when the stride across, he does take up a lot of space.
Certainly has its pros and cons.
Another one, he strikes pretty hard, but that one goes foul and counts. Going to be full. This next pitch will be the 9th of this at bat, or 8th of this at bat, excuse me, 9th of the inning, 64th overall. Just didn't have a handle on that one. It's just a one-out walk to Goodrum. So after that lengthy AB, now going to see Whit Davis. Davis first pitch swinging, gets past the extended glove of the first baseman. Goodrum's making his way to third. Davis will be standing at second base, and all of a sudden, Luccini National's in business. Man, they go first pitch. First pitch swinging, then an 8-pitch at bat, and then first pitch swinging. But now they have guys at second and third with one out.
Yeah, it's good work right there. And as well, you had the right fielder kind of shading more towards right center field and allowed that one to just sit up against the fence for a second and get those runners around. Now you got 2 in scoring position. Great start to this inning for Luccini.
See if Jaden Helmers can cash in a 1-1 game here in the 4th.
Seems like we have something over here delaying.
I think we're all good now as the umpire gives the thumbs up signal.
See what Helmers has, see if we can keep this run going.
See if he goes past 1 pitch. Fouls that off.
Tried not to.
Yeah. I think there's enough healthy respect for that breaking ball that if they see a fastball, they're swinging.
Yeah, and I don't blame them at all. That should probably be the approach you're going after right now. Robertson gets the velo up there, but not necessarily blowing you away with anything, only getting up to 84, which obviously, no knock on his game, but it's nothing you can't hit, and that right there is proof.
Second baseman throws to first for an out, but Luccini National able to cash in as Goodrum crosses the plate, and they now have a 2-1 lead here in the 4th. So Helmers does his job, and now we see T.J. Bailey for the second time.
2 down here now, so.
A little bit of words of advice from Helmers to Bailey. Something tells me they're just telling him if you see fastball, swing.
Yeah.
Holds off on the first one, a fastball that misses high at 84. 2-1 lead now for Luccini Nationals. They are able to cash in. Bailey sends that one foul. So they go line out, walk, ground out, double, ground out, and we'll see what Bailey does here as he puts that on the ground. Shortstop has it, throws in time for the out, but Luccini National has been able to take a 2-1 lead. We come back from the bottom of the fourth in this game rewind for the 15U National Championship.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Trailing 2-1, building champions will look to Cameron Miller, Carter Taldo, and Drew Pittman to get things rolling here in the fourth inning with Grant Vollmer back on the mound for Luccini National in this quarterfinal matchup from the 15U National Championship. Change up that Miller will send foul.
Real good start to this inning for Vollmer with 2 strikes to open it up. And starting an 0-2 count right now.
Vollmer goes breaking ball, and that spikes in front of his catcher, and the count's not going to be 1-2. Seem to have a really nice feel for that breaking ball. See if that continues here in the fourth. Goes back to the fastball. The count's now going to be 2-2. Well, goes to the breaking ball, gets Miller, knee-bending reaction there as he goes down on strikes to start off the fourth.
That is some fantastic work right there by Grant Vollmer in that at-bat. You started off with the fastball in an unhittable location, gets the strike looking there, and then you force the foul ball and change-up, lose the hold on the breaking ball, and then the fastball to ensue, and then bring it back with another breaking ball that was just picturesque.
He was set up there like Max Scherzer ready to throw before Taldo had even stepped into the box. Like he's like, let's roll. He gives you a lot. If you think about the high setup and where he has to come down and the long extension on the delivery, gives you a lot of time to think about a pitch before it's coming to you.
Definitely. He's ready to go.
Yep, 1-0 count here against Taldo. He's just set up. Man, he's just like, wait, let's go.
Umpire's having to hold him back.
Yeah, Vollmer ready to absolutely roll as he puts that one in play to the shortstop. Gathers, throws. Oh, nearly going to be safe. Man, pulled him off the bag. Had a lot of time to make that throw, but pulls the first baseman off the bags. He tries to swipe back and get Taldo, so he's going to be at first with an infield single.
Yeah, we've already seen that play.
Well,
had
we're
to be
going to call
made.
that's an error, though. We're gonna call that error.
We're going to call that a reach, not error, but we've seen that play had to be made, I think, once or twice already in this game by the first baseman. They get him, but it seemed pretty close right there. I think tie goes to the runner, so good work by Goodrum to play heads up there and try and apply the tag, but they still get the base runner they want.
Drew Pittman watches the first offering from Vollmer miss for a ball. Pittman from Blue Valley Southwest, third-ranked shortstop in Kansas in 27, 12th overall. Bit of a defensive swing on that fastball.
And if you're building champions, you're playing from behind. So we had some interruption here with the cameras, but looks like it's showing that Drew Pittman did hit a line drive single out in the left field.
So Taldo advances to second on some little bit of a miscue there in our AI system on the camera, and things have now slowed down. So we're going to have runners at first and second with forms of Taldo and Pittman for JT Moorhead, the catcher.
It seems like this time through the order now for building champions, they're seeing Vollmer a lot better. You're either going to see them jump on some early pitches or go deep into at-bats when they have a good eye on the pitcher like they do right now.
It's a lot of mass on that mound, by the way, when you got Vollmer and Miles Collins out there together.
That's a great point. Yeah.
No, that's a tag team right there.
It is like a...
400-plus pounds of human being out there on our...
Quite a team.
Yeah.
They're getting it done right now.
The first pitch to Moorhead drops in for a strike, breaking ball at 72.
Vollmer taking his time now, giving his runners a look back on the base paths. Don't let them get too crazy out there, stealing bases off you.
Moorhead, a bouncer, third base, tries to gather throw to first. That's going to pull him off the bag. So now the bases are going to be loaded. Nearly had outs by throws off the second baseman and shortstop and third baseman, both pulling the first baseman off the bag, and this resulted in 2 base runners for building champions who now have the bases loaded here in the 4th inning.
He's a former first baseman. Sean Goodrum at first base is getting the short end of the stick
sure
right
is.
now. 2 really close plays that could have been outs.
Another bouncer. Vollmer is unable to make a play on that, just really in a tough spot, so a run will score for building champions. We're all tied up at 2-2. There was really nowhere to go with that.
No.
I mean, just a tough ball. If he lays off that, the catcher gets it. It's not as though Vollmer's going to be able to cover the plate in time, so that was trouble regardless.
Yeah, you're just kind of glad you don't make a fielding error there and cause other troubles, but for building champions, it maybe hasn't been a pretty way to get a run across, but you're doing your job right now, and this is a whole nother ball game now.
Now we're all tied up at 2-2. So now it's going to be Jamison Rice with again the bases loaded.
It's a huge spot right now for building champions to maybe break this thing open.
Vollmer goes with the breaking ball, and that on the swing and miss is going to make it 0-2.
Jump on the cameras, but they try to get the out at second, and they do get the out successfully at second. They run scores, but Rice reaches first base on the fielder's choice.
All right, so that score is now 3-2. Building champions with the edge here, and now they'll turn things over to Cooper Kinney.
With 2 outs, now, like you said, a 3-2 game.
See if Cooper Kinney can break things open. First pitch misses, a fastball at 81. A 3-2 lead for building champions here in the 4th. Well struck ball by Kenny. That's going all the way to the wall. 1 run's going to score. Kenny's going to make his way to second base to see if a second run can make it all the way around, and does. Man, big moment there for Cooper Kenny as he celebrates at second base and has got himself a 2-run double.
Yeah, good work there in center field to cut that off from rolling all the way to the wall, but you still don't really save yourself any of the damage. Jamison Rice proving extremely costly that you let him reach there on the fielder's choice at first base, and he comes all the way around to score, and this is a big difference now from where you looked when you started this inning, and it kind of happened in a flash.
4 runs have scored for building champions. They now lead 5-2 here in the 4th inning. Let's take a moment here to regroup. Vollmer has looked awfully sharp on the mound up until the last couple of batters here. Just some well-struck balls. I mean, I think that play that allowed 1 run to score again, it was just a ball that no one was going to be able to make. It just knocks right in front of the of home plate in there as it turns from the grass color to the dirt color on our turf fields. There was just no way to make a play there, and kind of just allowed things to steamroll, and then Cooper Kinney makes him pay with a 2-run double.
Now you got Evan Loftus, the final batter in the lineup here. try and make something happen now with 2 outs and a much bigger lead than you maybe even thought you would have found yourself in with how they were hitting the ball around in the first parts of this inning.
Fastball at 80 catches him looking for strike 1.
Time called by Loftus in the batter's box, just trying to maybe capture the attention of Grant Volmer. He's a little too preoccupied over there at second.
Yep. Yeah, the one thing you have noticed about Volmer, you've made mention of it a couple times now, does seem to become a little bit distracted by base runners.
Yeah. I think it's, you had mentioned how he's a big guy and it takes a lot of time to make everything happen here in his move. So you get a pretty good jump off Volmer with how much moving parts there is in his windup.
Skies that one down the right side. Counts 0-2.
It's kind of like what we talked about early in this inning. It just seems like now in this second time through the lineup for Volmer, it's just there's a clear game plan against him and what you're going to see.
5-2 is the lead for Building Champions. They have scored 4 runs in this inning. Missing the breaking ball high.
This is one of those innings where if you're Volmer, you just want it over. It's a big hurt on the confidence as you go through the rest of this game.
Misses in the fastball. Count's now going to be 2-2. Had him down 0-2. Back-to-back balls, and now even the count.
There you go.
Yeah, gets himself an inning-ending strikeout, but he's given up 4 runs as Building Champions leads 5-2 when we come back with the 5th inning of this Game Rewind.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Luccini National see if they can answer a 4-run inning from Building Champions. We sit here in the 5th inning. Warren Robertson back on the mound for Building Champions, and he will be facing Parker Reach, Gatlin Grace, and Miles Collins for Luccini National.
I think with what we've seen from Warren Robertson, obviously he's given up the runs in the last 2 innings, but you're not too worried about how things are going. Well,
oh, he hit him. I don't even know
really
if did Parker Reach know that ball hit him?
I don't think he did. I think it's caught the jersey, so he didn't really feel it, but the umpire gives him the free pass, and now he's at first base to start this off. But what I was getting to with Robertson is, yeah, you've given up a run in each of the last 2 innings, and at one point that was a problem because it made you, you were behind in the game. But now with your offense coming out, you kind of get a second wind as the starter, and when you get that big run support inning from your team.
Reach takes off for second. We'll easily get that. A throw is high.
Obviously, that hit by pitch didn't really hold him back too much.
Yeah. So Parker Reach now in scoring position, and an answer that Luccini National needs is inching closer to home.
Yeah, Grace now down 0-1 to start this out.
Spiked fastball will even the count. Signal by home plate for more baseballs. Again, where do all the baseballs go is the question of the day here at Lake Point Sports.
Yeah, they get fouled off, and then probably somebody's little brother pockets them, or another field just keeps it.
Ropes that one, fouled on the third base side.
I think for Luccini, we talked about how last time out they had such a great approach at the plate, and they kind of knew what they wanted to jump on with Robertson. But I think now you do kind of find yourself in desperation mode. We're flying through this game right now, and Luccini needs to make up some runs.
Goes breaking ball and a foul that off.
Yeah, good work to wait on that one and let it get into a position where you kind of had to make a swing.
Counts now 1-2. That one's on the ground. Third base has it, throws to first. We'll see if Reach takes off for third. Man, showing some ridiculous speed as Parker Reach is standing at third. He's going to make his way all the way home in the errant throw. And, man, another errant throw. Hit him off the helmet. Man, what a trip to the plate for Parker Reach. Gets hit twice. One he didn't know about, and he most certainly knew he just got hit on the head as he crosses the plate. But that's a run that Luccini National needed as we got a 5-3 game.
That was absolutely great base running for Reach there. You see him, he steals second straight up on the pitch right after he gets hit, and then advances to second base with some smart base running on the ground ball to third, and then thrown past third base and finds his way to home.
Well, let's think about the throws that he encounters.
Yeah.
And so he gets to the plate, gets hit by a pitch. He didn't know he got hit by the pitch. He takes off for second base. The throw to the bag is high. Then he takes off for third. That throw was wide. Then he goes home. That throw misses too, but it hits him on the helmet. So that was just a calamity of throws that he encounters. But we've got a 5-3 game as Parker Reach is able to cross the plate. And now we've got Miles Collins at the plate now.
That breaking ball from Warren Robertson, but just leaks out a little bit too much outside.
Yeah, that may have been the wildest at bat thereafter that Parker Reach will ever encounter as a player.
Pretty crazy, but they get the out at first base, so at least you relieve yourself there a little bit.
See if Miles Collins can get things started once again for Luccini National. They're down 2 runs here in the 5th inning.
A little bit of suspense here.
That one is sky high off the bat of Collins, and
it's caught out there.
It's caught in right field as he makes his way back to the dugout. We were all in suspense there for a moment. Fly ball out to right. It's now Cullen Weller, steps in with 2 down.
The interesting thing about Cullen Weller, a 2021, 2022 junior future gamer. He's been here quite a few times. Maybe that's when Tulane got in contact with him.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting player. I mean, again, we don't have a lot of guys of his age that are committed anymore, and you had to have done so at a very early age. He swings through that fastball at 84. So still seeing the velo, as you mentioned it with Robertson, we're not talking about a guy who's up to 90 quite yet, but he's holding pretty strong here in the 5th inning, and this next pitch from him will be the 85th.
Yeah, the best ability is availability, and it doesn't seem like he's leaving this game anytime soon. Yeah, the control can get a little bit all over the place every now and then. He has an off at bat, but for the most part, he's been kind of just lighting up the strike zone, forcing a lot of foul balls. He's moving really fast right now on the mound and just making do with what he's got.
Next pitch, 87th, so that pitch count is rising, but again, I mean, I think the way that the velo is sitting and the way that he's been able to spin that breaking balls, he does so there in a swing and a miss, man. Robertson gets himself an inning-ending K of Weller, and we've got a 5-3 game as we move along in this game rewind.
Where is it written? Only grill burgers? Nowhere. That's where. Now throw on some sausage. And keep it juicy.
Boogie, woogie, jam, slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty mic.
Grant Westfall getting things started for Building Champions. They lead 5-3 over Luccini National. He's first pitch swinging. That one's down the left side, and that is all kinds of trouble. Grant Westfall make his way past first, and he will be at second with a leadoff stand-up double for the #1 player in Kansas.
Yeah, before he swung on that, I was about to talk about how Grant Vollmer is coming off of a bit of a tough inning last time out, 4 runs that he allowed, and just trying to kind of settle back in here, but a hot start for Westfall, and all of a sudden Vollmer finds himself once again in a tough spot to start this inning.
Well, tough spots have been kind of the credo for Vollmer as he again walked into a situation with nobody out and the bases loaded in the first inning. Now got Maltzby, and he's jumping on the first pitch and sends that foul.
Yeah, something new on the scouting report, I guess, for Building Champions. They're seeing something different from Vollmer.
Well, so far they're seeing a lot of fastballs in this inning.
Yeah, with Vollmer kind of getting thrust into action in the first inning without even recording an out yet, I feel like maybe he wasn't quite as warmed up as you'd like to be, so maybe we don't see him go necessarily as far in this game, and that's why we're seeing him kind of just resorting to sticking to the fastball.
Next pitch will be the 64th out of his hands. See if Maltzby can follow up that leadoff double from Westfall. He will, as that one goes into right field. Westfall's making his way home. The throw, he gets away from the right fielder. Westfall easily makes his way in the dugout with the 6th run for Building Champions. Now 6-3 advantage here in the 5th.
Yeah, that was big right there for Westfall to be able to score. He had some hesitation coming around third base, but luckily that ball just kind of gets misplayed out there in right field, and Building Champions a quick run here, and a pitcher's meeting right now with Vollmer to choose in his future.
You don't have to see a hug if a guy's going to stay in a game, and no, Grant Vollmer, his day will be over. When we come back, we'll tell you more about Luccini National's new pitcher.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Leighton Fogg is the new pitcher for Luccini National, taking off over for Grant Vollmer, and he'll be facing Cameron Miller with a runner on and a 6-3 lead for Building Champions. Fogg on the mound, 5'9", 160-pounder from North Shore High School in Louisiana. The third-ranked lefty in the state. Miller holds off, but that is a strike, 82 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think Building Champions probably going to take their time with these at-bats. First time seeing Fogg, and it seemed like we talked about they really had a good idea on what they were going to see from Vollmer. Now you play things slow like you're seeing right now from Miller and just try and gauge what you're looking for.
Fogg goes breaking ball that skips in the dirt, and that throw to second is going to skip in front of the second baseman.
Looked like his catcher just couldn't quite get the grip on the ball out of the glove. It just about took out his pitcher.
All right, so 3-1 is the count to Miller. Fogg stepping in for Grant Vollmer. Miller skies that one, the center field, and center fielder tries to make a stab at it, but it's going all the way back to the wall. Here comes one run for Building Champions. And man, Cameron Miller showing off some speed, and he's going to not hold a third. Cameron Miller's making his way all the way around as he gets himself an inside the park home run. Man, an absolute moment there for Cameron Miller. Just, tried to make a stab at that in center field and couldn't come up with it. Rolls all the way to the fence, and Cameron Miller finds himself rolling all the way home with an inside the park homer.
Yeah, he was flying, but definitely got the help of some tough throws out there from the outfield. And finds his way all the way around the bases. You don't see that one too often. Some people maybe call that a Little League home run. I don't know. I feel like that one's a fair shot at an inside the park. Just a missed play out there from center field. A tough play to make in the first place, but certainly suffering the consequences of it now.
Building Champions comfortably out in front now as they'll turn things over to Carter Taldo. Gets a strike on a check swing. Counts now 0-2 to Taldo.
Luccini still looking for their first out.
3 straight breaking balls from Fogg, and that one goes to the shortstop. He throws to get the first out of the inning.
Good work there, just settling things back down a little bit after some madness that had just happened. And you get the ground out, you make a safe play there at first, and find yourselves kind of in a little bit of a fresh start here in this inning.
All right, Drew Pittman's turn now. It's been a wild inning thus far for Building Champions. They start off with the Grant Westfall double, and then Maltsby gets a single, and then they follow with the Cameron Miller inside the park home run. Got themselves 3 runs thus far in this inning, and have just built on this lead. It's now 8-3.
Pittman went way down to make contact with that one and sends it foul.
Got himself a 0-2 hole. Fogg misses on a seemingly eephus pitch. I think that's what I will register that at 64 miles an hour.
Yeah, looked like that one just kind of fell out of the hand
a
little early.
Yeah, there's some days you just don't have a feel for that curveball, and you try to overcompensate, and it ends up sailing on you just like that one did, and now he's got himself a 2-2 count. Misses high on that fastball. Count's now going to be full to Pittman. He was down 0-2. Now got himself back in at 3-2.
Yeah, Pittman's patience paying off right now. He had the 2 strikes looking to go down 0-2, and then a foul ball on a pitch you certainly could have just sat on and got yourself a ball, but
he's got himself a walk
down there.
Yeah, so he works a 7-pitch at bat off of a 0-2 hole, and now he's going to have a runner at first with an out.
JT Moorhead coming to the plate now, looking to keep things rolling here for Building Champions, trying to run up this lead a little bit more.
See how aggressive they get with the lefty on the mound. Moorhead first pitch swing and sends that foul.
Yeah, I think with Building Champions and the lead that they have right now, you can kind of just, if you like something, give it a try. That's kind of the way they should start looking at Fogg's pitching here in this inning.
First throw over we've seen from Fogg thus far.
Seemed a little bit obvious. Seemed like he kind of pulled his head back, which you haven't seen in his normal pitching, but goes right back to the mission at hand.
Fouls that off. The 6th straight fastball out of the hands of Fogg.
Yeah, I think that breaking ball he threw in the last one, he just kind of lost his, maybe in the back of his mind a little bit.
He tries the breaking ball again and misses high, yeah.
66.
Just hasn't had a feel for that pitch. He was able to get strike looking on one of the early ones that he threw, but since then he's just largely leaned on the fastball.
Yeah.
Now finds himself in another full count with the runner at first. Morehill drills this one over top of the shortstop's head, and that's going to be in the left field for a base hit, and runner will advance to second, so they're going to have him at first and second with one down.
Good work right there, just throughout that entire at-bat, really, from JT Moorhead, just being patient. He saw the pitches that he liked, and he fouled them off, and then the other ones he watched go right by him, but now sends a line drive out there and keeps things going now for Building Champions here in this big inning.
Parker Jenkins steps to the plate. Things getting away from Luccini National now. Misses on the first offering to Jenkins.
Runner going to third. Makes it in safe. And
wow.
The runner at first base, I don't think he was cued in on the plan to steal, but still finds himself there.
So now 2 runners in scoring position for Jenkins. So they can keep building on this lead.
Yeah, certainly not been an ideal start to his relief appearance for Fogg on the mound.
Miss high on that fastball. Yeah, after a couple misses on that breaking ball, it seems like he is pretty much just ditched that pitch and is just going to go straight fastball and ends up issuing a walk to Jenkins on 4 pitches. Certainly finds himself in a tough situation if it's just going to be a heavy diet of fastballs out of his hand.
Yeah, Building Champions not afraid to just jump on something. And if you put one down the middle, you're going to see it used.
It's now got Jamison Rice at the plate. Bases are loaded. Back to the fastball. That one goes back foul. Let's see if you can at least, if you're Luccini National, try to limit damage here and to at least give yourselves a chance offensively to go up there and see if you can find an answer for Warren Robertson, because the one thing you can say with him is the pitch count is building, and how long will Building Champions ride with him if he finds himself in any trouble as this game wears on.
Yeah. Gets the strike looking right there and then misses on the breaking ball. He's now thrown 29 pitches in this inning.
So he's attempted that breaking ball 3 times, and each one of them has missed badly high, and it's resulted in Fogg having to go back to that fastball. Does it again, and that one's put in play by Rice, and that's going to be trouble again. Throws over to first in time. No, they do not get him, and another run scores for Building Champions. And we've seen that play repeat itself a couple times there. Grant Vollmer was unable to make a play on that, and the exact same thing happens. A run scores, and it's just kind of no man's land, and they once again have the bases loaded.
Yeah, Building Champions just putting bat on ball and making things happen with what they can just kind of control here, and it's been really good base running, and in situations like that, they're kind of hoping that it gets misplayed by Luccini, but it's also just a position where there's really nothing you can do about it.
So another run scores for Building Champions, and now Cooper Kinney is at the plate. First pitch, he'll send that one foul. .32 pitches in this inning for Fogg, and he did not start off the inning.
What was that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I almost thought he had a bug in his face or something like that, but that was a bit of an odd mannerism there from the umpire out in the field.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was tossing someone.
Yeah.
Not too sure what's happening right now. Some kind of delay, and they're looking towards the dugout. The umpire having a conversation with whoever it may be. presumably the head coach of Luccini. Looks like we're going to get back in action.
All right, things will continue now with Kenny at the plate.
Slowly, but they'll continue. There we go.
Goes to that breaking ball again and misses. Count's now going to be 1-1.
Yeah, right now you're just kind of hoping you can just hit the strike zone.
Well, he doesn't on that fastball. Count's now 2-1. Kenny puts that one in play. Third base has it. Throws to second for 1 out. He's tripped up, and another run does score for Building Champions. They do get their second out, but we have seen the 5th run score for Building Champions in this one as they now have a 10-3 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. We're going to see a new batter here for Building Champions as the spot that was previously Evan Loftus is now going to be filled by
Cohen Lilly.
By Cohen Lilly, all right. Pinch hitter.
Out of Blue Valley Southwest in Kansas.
That's in for a strike.
So now you bring in a pinch hitter in a lefty-lefty scenario, kind of an interesting call there. You wouldn't see that often.
Seems to be a little bit more in the comfort zone for Fogg here as he's looked a little sharper against the lefty than he was against the right-handers the Building Champions was sending to the plate.
Yeah. See if Building Champions can just keep this rolling.
Swing and a miss. Excuse me, sends that one foul. Yeah, I think the comfort zone has increased dramatically for Fogg here in this lefty-lefty matchup. Misses in the fastball inside.
2-2 now for his 39th pitch of the inning. Another close one.
Oh, wow, just misses inside.
Counts full.
Well, just misses outside on that one. He will walk Lilly, the pinch hitter. Now Grant Westball and Building Champions has batted all the way around in this inning.
Yeah, pretty crazy to start off the inning with your leadoff hitter and then bring it all the way back around to him. Don't see it often. Looks like coach coming out to have a meeting at the mound. We might be seeing the end of Fogg's day on the mound.
That will indeed be it for Landon Fogg after issuing the walk to Lilly and leaving the bases loaded for Grant Westball. We'll be back to tell you about the next pitcher for Luccini National. Grant Westball making his second trip to the plate here in the 5th inning. He will now do so against a new pitcher for Luccini National, Miles Cunningham out of LaRanger High School in Louisiana. 7th-ranked third baseman in that state, 72nd overall, but we will see him on the mound now where he is up to 78. The curveball at 65, slider around 65, 66.
Westfall started this inning off to a hot start with that double, and then he eventually scored, and now looking to see if he can keep this thing alive.
Just misses on the fastball at 77, so count's now going to be 1-1 to Westfall. Again, the #1 player in Kansas and Grayson mentioned got things started with a leadoff double as he ropes that one. Second baseman makes a stabbing play. I thought he caught it too, but throws a second and they're able to get the out and end it. But man, Building Champions 5 runs in that lead as they now lead 10-3 when we'll come back with more with this Game Rewind.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Warren Robertson out for his 6th inning of work after a very long break in which his lineup produced 5 more runs to build a 10-3 lead as we sit here in the 6th inning of this matchup from the 15U National Championship. We'll see now currently seeing Lawton Littleton, and he'll be followed by Sean Goodrum and Whit Davis for Luccini National, trying to find some kind of a response after 2 innings in which they've allowed a combined 9 runs to Building Champions.
Yeah, I think the big thing we were talking about it the last time we saw Warren Robertson, which was quite a while ago now, but he is about to be into the 90s with this next pitch. So certainly watching that, especially with the long break he got after a big inning, that one gives up a single to start things off. So definitely be watching Warren Robertson, just his fatigue on the mound.
The last pitch, a 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball in which Littleton parks into center field for a leadoff single, and now we're going to see Sean Goodrum.
Looks like Goodrum not crowding the plate nearly as much as we've seen in his first 2 at-bats.
Puts that in play. First baseman throws to second for 1 out. Do they get the double play? No, they do not, so Goodrum will be standing at first.
Yeah, Robertson not quite there in time to cover, and good work by shortstop not to just fire one over there to nobody.
So Goodrum off the fielder's choice is now standing at first, and now here comes Whit Davis. It's in for a strike. That was 74.
Pitch number 94.
Wow.
For Warren Robertson. Line drive.
Yeah, line drive doubles him up, so they get Goodrum at first anyway, and that's going to bring it into the inning. A very quick one for Robertson, and after that long layoff, he makes quick work of Luccini National's bats. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th in a 10-3 game in this Game Rewind.
Grilling is an art. Don't forget to add sausage, Picasso. Keep it juicy.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Andrew Maltzby will lead things off for Building Champions. They lead 10-3 here in the 6th inning of the 15U National Championships. Miles Cunningham back on the mound for Luccini National. That one's fouled off to start things off.
Building Champions, we talked about how their approach to the plate has been really sound throughout these last couple of innings, and that's why they've put up so many runs. And right there, you get things started. Ground out to start the inning. Good thing for Miles Cunningham, who's just trying to keep them within reach, not make things a little any worse than they already have it. But Building Champions, you're kind of free to do whatever you'd like here with your approach at the plate.
Cameron Miller, whose last AB resulted in an inside-the-park home run, steps in with one down here in the 6th. Jumps on the first pitch from the hands of Cunningham and sends that foul.
It's kind of a tough spot that Cunningham comes into. Obviously, he entered at the end the last time out and then didn't really get a long break before having to go back up there. So essentially just looking for 4 outs here in his job.
He's got a 1-1 count to Miller. Sends that one into center field. This time he has it, and it will be the 2nd out.
Yeah, not going to have to dive for that one.
Yeah, the last time those two encountered each other, the misplayed ball resulted in a long trek around the bases for Miller, but not this time, as it'll be 2 down now for Carter Taldo.
I think this might be Building Champions. Just, if we want to hit a home run or something, sure, we can hit a home run, but let's not waste our time here.
And this is bracket play, mind you. There's a lot more to go as this tournament wears on, and I'm sure these guys more than happy to walk out with a W and move along their day as they try to advance in bracket play. Fastball misses at 78. Gets it on the outside corner.
Yeah, good pitch right there by Cunningham to catch that bottom corner. See what he's got here on 1-2.
It's now as you mentioned, 1-2, 2 down. Taldo on the check swing. He did indeed go, and that will end the inning.
Right? Yeah. Yep, that's 3.
Yeah, that's 3. I think Cunningham was surprised in that one as well, but that's going to end the inning. So we'll be back. You're watching a game rewind from the 15U National Championship.
Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
It all comes down to this for Luccini National. They'll send Jaden Helmers, TJ Bailey, and Parker Reach to the plate, and they will once again be facing Warren Robertson. First pitch swinging. Helmer sends that to shortstop. Gathers, throws the first in time for the first out. Very quickly get the first out, and that was the 95th pitch of the day for Warren Robertson.
Yeah, not the start Luccini's looking for when you need 7 runs just to keep things alive here in this game. So Building Champions off to a hot start, and Warren Robertson, you can't really say enough about the effort he's put out there on the mound. A couple of quick innings here at the tail end of his appearance that have certainly hurried things up, but in his 7th inning of work through 6.1, it's phenomenal to see him getting this kind of usage, especially in bracket play.
97th pitch. That one skied into the glove of the third baseman for the second out, and that was T.J. Bailey, by the way, that was at the plate, the guy who was a very long time ago the opposing opening pitcher that Robertson was going against.
We talk about it a lot, the value of having a pitcher in a bracket play game go deep, and this has been such a tremendous asset to building champions in this game, is that Warren Robertson has just not really faltered. Yeah, he gave up the 3 runs, each a single run in consecutive innings, but he's really just dialed it back in.
Yeah, he has been fantastic thus far, as you mentioned. Seen 4 strikeouts out of him. He's allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks. He's got a chance to cap this here and go into triple digits potentially in the pitch count. We'll see how that works here as he's facing off against Parker Reach, the leadoff hitter for Luccini. Miss inside for 98th pitch. That one, an 84-mile-an-hour fastball. 84 at pitch number 98. That velo is absolutely holding for Robertson.
I think we're getting that second wind right now with
Yep.
the fastball velo. You know that your day is just about over. You can kind of just give it all you've got now.
Well, the next pitch is number 100. Ooh, goes to the breaking ball, slips that in for a strike.
He had to leave us with another one.
Yep.
That's been one of the most effective pitches we've maybe really seen throughout an appearance for anybody in some of these game rewinds, is that breaking ball.
Robertson gets himself a strikeout in the outside corner and puts a cap on a dominant victory for Building Champions. They win 10-3 over Luccini National, and cannot say enough about Warren Robertson going the distance there, getting his 5th punch out and closing out this game for Building Champions.
Yeah, that was some absolutely unbelievable work on the pitching side and just by the offense. You capitalized on 2 really big innings that kind of got you all of your runs. 9 of your 10 runs come in those innings, and when you go down late 2-1 and you just immediately fight back like that, it's a big testament to the offense, and of course Warren Robertson just keeping you in the game all the way through.
Yeah, Building Champions have 10 runs on 11 hits. Meanwhile, 3 runs for 5 hits for Luccini National. And man, we just saw some great days. Cameron Miller, that inside the park home run, had a couple doubles off the bats of Cooper Kinney and Grant Westfall. But I don't think the bats were great, but I don't think they're in the position to dominate quite like they did without the performance that Warren Robertson put on.
Yeah, definitely quite the performance. One of the better ones you'll see.
Building Champions 10-3 winners in what would be a march through the 15U National Championship brackets. They would follow this with a 12-3 victory over Dirtbags National in the semifinals, and then a 5-3 game, a win over Canes Midwest for the championship game that we did live during the 15U National Championship. By the way, in total, a 9-0 run through the entire tournament for Building Champions. They outscored opponents 77-23, so a truly dominant stretch, and we just saw a taste of that here during this game rewind, so a really great performance from them. Make sure you stick with us all winter long as we'll have these game rewinds taking you back to the return of live baseball here at the Baseball Village in the Georgia Dugout Club Tournament, which begins February 14th. So make sure you are following the Late Point Sports social media channels. We'll keep you up to date on the latest ones of these game rewind and all the great content that we have coming out from across campus. So until next time, for Grayson Rosen, I'm Cory McCartney, and we're signing off from Late Point Sports.